So many of you have expressed interest in wanting to see a video of Pock in action. So I've decided to record a video which starts after the point that you've imported Pock onto your device. In my case, it's a Samsung Galaxy Fold, but it doesn't matter. Even though it caters for Fold functionality, it will still work beautifully on a normal phone, provided you have plenty of memory and you have a fairly fast Qualcomm chip in your phone. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of issues because this really does use a lot of resources. So we're working on the basis here that you have already installed Pock, and that Tasker, as you can see on your screen, is switched off. So it is important for the first stage of the setup that Tasker is switched off. So we then go into Start Pock, and we just run the Start Pock app, and it advises that you need to turn Tasker off. It'll still do that even if you've turned Tasker off. We go yes, and then with a bit of luck it'll come back with a confirmation that says Tasker has been switched off, so now we can continue. We push the button. You'll need about 10 minutes. That's being conservative. That's assuming you've got everything. The whole process itself is probably only a few minutes, but anyway, off we go. Plenty to read there. I'm not going to go through it now. Suffice to say that any tasks or any profiles that have yellow triangles next to them are where you need to put some input. So if you want to make the device safe, you might need to put your Wi-Fi or your Bluetooth, but you're going to have to put input in there, otherwise it's not going to work, or it's going to work too well, and the alarm saying that your device is in a security risk will go off more than you would like, which it's done for me on a plane before and I couldn't stop it. It was a bit embarrassing. So welcome to your new assistant. We're going to set up your proof of concept companion. There is a README that you can read anytime you like. It's quite long, but it includes a high-level overview written by Gemini, one of my patrons who downloaded Pock actually got Gemini to run a full analysis. So we've got that as well. Very useful because the variables are listed in the high-level overview as well. So if you are tampering with or fiddling with Pock and you want to know what some of the variables do, the high-level overview in the README will give it to you. So many things in Tasker preferences to calibrate, including the queued tasks to 100, which is only defaulted to 10. It's pretty scary, but Pock does a lot of things at the same time. You need to turn off any extra Google security features, also clearly indicated in the README, and continue on. So, firstly, Pock wants to know your name. So, we will put our name. In my case, it is Simon, obviously. And with a bit of luck, she will tell us that she is now going to call me Simon.
Okay, so now I can call you Simon. That's fantastic.
It is. So then she's going to continue on with a bit of luck, and she's going to check for directories and files. She creates Pock directories inside your default Android download directory, and she puts all the files that you will need, plugins, apps, backgrounds, audio, and instructional files are in those folders. Remember, the plugins and the apps are there for your reference. They're not going to be the most current version, and if you want the most current version, go and download them from the website. And of course, Tasker will remind you if you don't have the current plugins, and you will be asked to upload to download the most recent plugins anyway. So she's now going to check for directories, and as you can see, my directories already exist. That's going to speed things up, as do my files. If the files don't exist, she'll download them. And you'll see that when she's finished creating the directories, this will be very quick in my case. She's completed downloading the files. And she's hopefully going to continue on. So now she's going to check that the required apps and plugins have actually been installed. There's a couple of things that happens here. if Pock doesn't have at least version 7 of Android, if she doesn't have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, and if she doesn't have the files and the plugins, she won't run. So she's going to check, as you'll hear.
All required applications have been installed. All required plugins have been installed.
Continuing on, cleaning up now after checking the plugins. Now we're continuing. You'll notice there it took a few times to get this going. Would you like to interact with your smart device? Yes, I would. In this case being my...
Or smart ring is now being monitored by Pock, provided it is paired with this device and is within proximity.
So that's my smartwatch. So we're setting it up. It's going to check that the safe area, the Wi-Fi, in this case ours is Familia Jacobs. No, it's not, because I'm in the study, so it's Simon, to check the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Let us now confirm that the access point you have chosen, Simon, is available and connected.
Cool. Which it is. Confirming the current Wi-Fi is connected to Simon.
Wi-Fi has been set up successfully.
Okie doke. And now it's just going to reactivate the profiles again. And now, believe it or not, the setup is technically complete and ready to use. So that's it. Took a few times to redo it. I didn't edit them out. There's my splash screen. Remember, safe zones to turn the screen off while the device is horizontal. I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute. And you can stop Tasker anytime by shaking the device as well. So now we're pretty much...
Activated.
It's going to go through a few announcements now which are unnecessary, but unfortunately that's a process of...
Confirming Wi-Fi and mobile data availability. Confirming VPN disconnected manually.
You'll notice I put my finger in sometimes because...
Simon, mobile data switched on.
Some of the functions are protected by the security system that you're going to be introduced to here in Pock. So it says that the Bluetooth radio is turned off, but it's going to turn it back on again.
Looking for a Bluetooth device.
Lovely thing it does also, you'll notice in the notifications it now says that the 4G cell network is active.
The 4G network has connected. Smart device activity has been detected.
And only the important functions are in the running task function. You'll only see running tasks if you've got the Tasker notification turned on.
Disconnected. Smart device connection may have been interrupted. Check for a Bluetooth notification if connectivity is not recovered.
Cool. So the Bluetooth will reactivate automatically. Just little sneaky things in Tasker to make Wi-Fi and Bluetooth work by toggling them on and off in the program at the appropriate moment. But you can have a look at the code to see how that works. The other task that I was just telling you about, if after the first part of the task doesn't restart, you'll see there one called Finish Pock. So Start Pock is part 1 and Finish Pock is part 2. And that's all you need to actually run it. So look, let's have a look how Pock actually works. If you turn the screen off, she does a few things, but then I'm going to lose the recording, so I'm not going to show you that. But I will show you that... oh, she's activating sound now. Cool.
Appointments have finished.
And then when the appointments are finished, she's just checking things at the moment. She'll tell you in the notification.
The time is 2:17 p.m.
So she's announced.
Sound off. Your battery drain was less than 5%. Note, this device is now fully charged.
Lots of information coming up. She's monitoring everything. So to access her, she'll turn on, the Pock Assistant will always come up when you turn the device on. But to access her now, you can do it either from the DA button, if you've set up your buttons at the top, which I recommend. They'll be in the selection, but you'll have to find them. Or you can use the Assistant. You swipe your finger in from the corner. Actually, I'll show you that again here on on the screen. So you just do the Google Assistant thing, finger in from the corner, and there is your task for Assistant. So in this case, let's try some music. Yeah, let's give music a go. So we haven't used ChatGPT before since we installed it, so she's going to check the version, and she's going to always default to the public version that was most recently used. So if we press yes, you'll see that GPT 4.0 is already there. We're going to accept it.
The ChatGPT engine you have selected, GPT 4.0, is now your active OpenAI engine.
Cool. And we want to set her personality. The default is I'm a helpful assistant, and she'll confirm it.
My personality has now been defined as being I am a helpful assistant. Thank you, Simon.
As your DJ, would you like me to use Spotify or YouTube?
So in normal operations, we will choose, I use YouTube Music because I think it's better and it's more reliable and it does more than Spotify.
Okay, let's play some music, Simon. Choose the specific song you would like to hear.
I'm from the 70s. How about Instant Replay by Dan Hartman?
Didn't catch the name of the song
Okay.
you wanted me to find.
Fair enough.
You need to say the song name first, optionally followed by the artist if you wish. So, let's try again, Simon. Choose the specific song you would like to hear.
Instant Replay.
Great. Let's play Instant Replay by Dan Hartman on YouTube.
There you go. The video is usually available too. There we go. There's the video. Showing my age. This is about 40 years old. Woo! Quite enjoy this. So, the beautiful thing is, when you use YouTube, as you can see, it's visual. But the fantastic thing is, which I don't want to do because I'll stop the recording, is if you turn the image off, turn the phone off, the music will still continue. This is very important for the wake up function, because the wake up function relies on the screen being off and the device being locked. So you can't use Spotify with the wake up function, but you can use YouTube. Wake up function just works as soon as you set the alarm. You don't have to worry about anything, yeah? So let's leave Dan Hartman. I don't even think he's alive. I think he died in 1980 or something like that. I'm just going to clear that out of the memory for the moment. But of course, we can also use, if we go back to the assistant here, let's go GPT chat.
Simon, that's chat. You can press back to cancel.
Tell me about Dan Hartman, the singer. See what she comes back with.
Dan Hartman was an American musician, singer, songwriter, and record producer, best known for his work in the pop, rock, and disco genres. Born on December 8, 1950, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania,
You'll notice there's a little red button at the bottom of the screen. If you press that, you can stop whatever function Pock is doing at the moment or whatever she's reading out simply by pressing the function. Remember too that if you put your phone horizontal like this and then press the power button off, which I'm not going to do because I'll lose the recording, then you will put her into safe mode. She will tell you that she's in safe mode and the alarm won't go off if you're not connected to a safe Wi-Fi, if your smartwatch is not connected, or if you're not at home. All functions that you have to set up with the tasks that contain the yellow triangles, please. All right, getting a lot of emails about people's alarms going off and they don't realise that it's a security alarm based on the fact that poor old Pock doesn't think she's safe. And like a small child, if she can be naughty, she will be. So the other one, of course, which Juan designed, and of course these are all Juan Diaz's programs that I've incorporated into here, and hopefully I can bring the menu back up again. If I can't, this is interesting actually, if it doesn't come back up. So this is a interesting thing to know too. We just sometimes have to battle memory and we can't always win the argument. So in this case, you see the little running man in the top of your notification bar. If you go there, and you'll notice that the Pock digital assistant is running, but it's sort of stuck. So you can just terminate it by opening up the pop-up and pressing stop all tasks. It actually doesn't stop all tasks. It just stops all tasks that are running at the moment. So it's cleared that memory. With a bit of luck now, I can run, there you go. I can run the menu and Pock is back up. Let's run a task. Let's run a simple task. I know.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
I would like to extend my screen timeout. So, you will see that she confirms that I want to run the pre-trained task screen on control. I've set no other additional parameters. I go yes, and then you'll see that the screen timeout has been extended to 2:55. This little screen timeout control is really cool. So what she does, this solves all the problems of keeping your screen on and off through movement, through proximity sensors, through apps that let you set different times or override it and then your battery goes flat. Pock does this very simply. If your phone is on, she will set the screen time default to 30 minutes. However, when the 30 minutes is up, if you don't confirm that you want to continue, she will return the screen default time to 15 seconds. So then it'll shut down and you won't lose your whole battery. So what I want to show you here is how you can use ChatGPT to run tasks inside Pock, which are of course inside Tasker. So Joan Diaz created a beautiful little application that allows us to do this. I've already assigned it to a task already here in the assistant, so let me show you.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
So I would like to add a task to my ChatGPT task list. So we're going to run this ChatGPT function setup. There's no additional parameters. And here's the list. Beautifully simple. All of the tasks are listed in blue at the top. And all you have to do is choose the task you want to run and type in a human-readable description. That description will be sent to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will interpret it, come back to the device, and then run the task that you want to run. So, for example, if you go scroll down here, let's say to calendar. Let's have a look at calendar. Okay, there we go. So calendar, new event scheduled. Create a new event or schedule an appointment in your calendar. So it's simply just a human readable event that's written against the task, calendar, new event scheduled. Of course, if you want to create these and they're not already in the pre-recorded file that I've provided you with instructions on how to add the existing ones that I've created, you can go through the task list yourself and you can press the tasks and find out what they do to see which ones you may want to add to the list, or you can, of course, add your own. So let's try the calendar list, the calendar event.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
Okay, I would like to create a new calendar event. So calendar new event scheduled, that's the one we're going to run. It's recognised it and let's see what happens.
Schedule an event by voice now, or stop with the back button.
So test event at 11 p.m. tonight.
A new appointment has been created.
Cool, and it tells you in the flash that a new appointment has been created. The flashes generally try not to overlap each other. That's another little clever part of the program. If we now open up our Google Calendar...
Schedule an event by voice now, or stop with the back button.
Oops, there's one I tried before, which didn't.
New appointment not created.
Which wasn't one that I wanted. Let me delete that quickly. Anyway, so there it is. There's the test event at 11 p.m. So we can delete that. Remember, this is only going to work if, of course, you insert all the Google credentials. Just remember something, that when you are using these functions, if you're using them for the first time and you haven't entered in, for example, your Google credentials, even if you didn't do it during the setup, you'll be asked for those credentials anyway, and you can then enter them in at a later stage. And of course, anytime you reset your device, you can also enter these credentials. So Pock tasks running through ChatGPT based on purely a human readable description is really a very powerful tool that you can also use. Okay, so let's try the mute function again.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
So I would like to mute my device.
Here is your list of available tasks.
She didn't understand
Remember,
me.
you can modify these tasks or the human readable instructions anytime.
Okay.
Now, from that list, choose one of your pre-configured tasks.
I would like to turn off the sound. I'm just trying to give you a realistic idea of what was going on here. The reason why it failed to mute was nothing to do with the problem with Pock. It was to do with the fact that I forgot that I actually have a calendar event between the time 2 o'clock in the afternoon that I'm recording this. So of course you can't mute the device again when the device is already muted. So what I have to do here is, you'll notice a couple of things at the top of the screen, is that the hotspot is active in the top right-hand corner of your phone, and that the device is in actual fact muted. And in actual fact, while I was testing this out a little moment ago, the device was placed face down in order to restore the sound. So when you restore the sound, or whether you mute the sound, there'll always be a message telling you what happened, so you can trace it. By the way, the other thing you can trace is, if you're running it and you've got tasker open and you're not sure what's going on, you can always go into the monitor and you can look at the running log. You can look at everything, or you can just look at the actions, or you can just look at the tasks, or you can just look at the profiles, what's running. So the last one that ran was the unlock and safety assistance. So you can do this, you can run, you can see in real time what's actually going on. So let's go to the calendar. Let's go to the calendar and see what's going on. There's the appointment for my teaching classes. So I'm going to kill that appointment because I'm not using it. I'm going to delete it. Delete this event. So now the event is gone, and you will find that in a moment Pock will restore herself, because now the event is finished, and so the sound can be restored. Hopefully. So there you go.
Appointments have finished.
And you'll see that the last sound restored in the notification was because the appointment was finished at 14:37 when I deleted the appointment. You can also mute your device, and it's telling, by the way, now that the Wi-Fi was turned off. We have to turn on the Wi-Fi manually because the hotspot was turned off. So we'll just restore.
Turned off. Double check, as Android may try to reconnect it. Good afternoon, Simon. The time is 2:37 p.m. During sound off, your battery drain was less than 5%. Note, this device is now fully charged.
So again, any important tasks, and the appointment's finished. Lots of messages there to tell you what's going on. Now, fortunately, this is beyond me. This is Android, unfortunately. Sometimes the hotspot, for whatever reason, decides to turn itself on again, so we can turn it off. By the way, I live in Brazil, and the reason why the hotspot is even on during an appointment is I use it as a backup. So if the electricity fails and my Wi-Fi goes down, then I can do not lose my connection while I'm teaching an English class. I have the hotspot to reconnect me. You can turn that function off in Tasker. You can do whatever you like, but that's how it's been set up. I wouldn't personally turn it off, because if your Wi-Fi does go down, you're not using hardly any power or energy using your hotspot, and as long as you've got enough data, you're going to be fine. So let's kill the hotspot. Let's turn the Wi-Fi back on again.
Hotspot turned off. Double check as Android may try to reconnect it.
Okay, so one thing you can do to turn the sound off as well, or turn the sound on, is you can flip your phone to turn it on or off, like this. So we flip it, and nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Probably because I just flipped it before and it won't let you do it twice in a row. The point is, it does work, and it will mute or restore your sound. A little quick note about audio here. Let me see if I can do a custom mute for you. So let's do a Pock task.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
I would like to custom mute my phone, and I will tell you the restoration time. So custom time, I love this function that Juan built. We'll restore the sound at 14:45, I guess, doesn't really matter. 14:45. And you'll notice at the top of the window too, it says day mute is 2 hours, night mute is 8 hours, and we've got the custom mute which we're setting now. We set the custom mute, and it should tell us that we've set a custom mute. Down the bottom is a flash until 14:45, and verbally.
Simon, sound is due to be restored at 2:45 in the afternoon.
2 hours during the day, and we're talking 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can change that time as well if you like. Some people have asked me to automate or to customize that. And 8 hours overnight between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. Custom mute is whatever time you want to set. The device also mutes, as you now know from a moment ago, automatically in an appointment, and automatically turns on the hotspot. Lot of flexibility with the mute system, how it turns itself on and turns itself off. You'll discover this. Another beautiful function in the morning is that if you wake up in the morning and your sound turns on before 9 a.m. in the morning, it will also ask you if you would like to wake up with a track of music, and it will ask you which song you want. Fantastic function. I'll try the flip again. I'm going to flip the phone.
Phone flipped. Sound control intercepted.
And you'll see there's the sound restored. Stopped or expired at 14:41. Sound is restored using the flip.
Good afternoon, Simon. The time is 2:41 p.m. During sound off, your battery drain was less than 5%. Note, device is not charging, and the battery level is currently at 90%.
Okay, so you get the idea. So you flip the phone to turn the sound on and off. So you flip it, you turn it horizontally to turn the security off, not on, and turn the power off. Everything else that happens on the screen. If I got a message, Pock actually will float a little bubble on the screen to say that I have a message. Can I do this while you are here? Probably if I turn my computer on quickly.
Simon, Gmail notifications
Yeah,
have been received.
there you go. So you can see here the little bubble. Hello from me, from Pock Now. This is the Pock Now function. Again, based on one of Juan Diaz's original programs. And if you tap it, I love how he did this. If you tap it, you can literally respond. It doesn't seem to work with Facebook Messenger for whatever reason, so I put a message on there that says may not work for Messenger. And if you hold it down,
Wi-Fi has been connected.
it will take you into the email as well. And if you flip it off the screen, it will disappear. not only will it disappear, but it will also clear the notification from the notification shade. Another amazing function is the image recognition, of course also built by Juan. So let's say we want to analyse a picture. We'll run it via Pock task again.
Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
I would like to interrogate a photo. So image interrogation is what we want to do. So we can take a photo, we can access a photo. Let's start off by taking a photo, for example.
Simon, you are about to take a photo for analysis. What would you like to ask?
Could you tell me what type of piece of furniture is in the photo? And of course which camera we want to use, so we're going to use the rear camera in this case. Take the picture of the lamp. It'll go up for recognising, has to go via Dropbox. A little bit of a complicated process, but works beautifully. Takes a little moment, because remember it's got to go from the phone to Dropbox, from Dropbox to AI, from OpenAI back to us with the response. So it's quite a process.
This is a table lamp. It has a fabric lampshade and a wooden base, and it's designed to be placed on a table or other flat surface for lighting. Simon, describe the task you wish to run. A list of tasks will be displayed if required. You can press back to cancel.
I would like to interrogate a picture. I love how this works because Juan's got it working off human readable, so it's much better than a normal AI where it has to be exact words. So image interrogation is what we want. So this time we're going to access a photo. We'll grab a file. There it is. This is a really good picture for this purpose.
Simon, from the picture you just selected, what would you like to ask?
What can you see in this picture? It said say, but hopefully it'll think of see. So it's a picture of three hands. It's analysing, sending the image to Dropbox. Dropbox sends the image to OpenAI. OpenAI analyses it and sends the response back.
In the picture, I see three hands resting on someone's leg. One hand, wearing a watch, seems to belong to an older person based on the appearance of the skin. Another hand appears to be resting on top,
And I can stop
a third
at any
hand
time
is placed over the
by
others.
pressing the red button. And there we go. So there's image recognition for you. I could go on all day, but the best way to experience Pock is to use it. I think you'll find she's fantastic. I love customising there's my family there. How's that for impromptu? In the green shirt on the left is my son, my niece, my wife, my daughter Christy, my sister Alice, my son Scott, and his beautiful girlfriend Sarita. So that's my family. This is Pock. Give it a go. You're going to love it, okay? And if you've got any questions, send me a note. If you want me to help you set it up personally, send me a small donation and I'll work for you for life, all right? It's getting a lot of attention, nearly 200,000 views already, hundreds of downloads. The latest update fixes many of the issues. Enjoy.